Hello. Okay, so I figured I'd upload a video to. I mean, obviously I haven't put up a video in a while, um, but yeah. So just as a quick update, I was living in California, but now I've finally moved out. If you recall from my previous videos, I've been talking about this, and it's happened. And I've been traveling on the road for, I guess, for the past 2 weeks. It's been amazing, really awesome. I'm like in a hotel right now, and I just figured I'd put up a video. Anyway, I've spent a few days in all the places that I've been going to, checking out things like the Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, and a number of places that were in Arizona. And so, man, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, leaving LA was just the best decision I have ever made, for myself, for my creativity, just for my art, for everything. So yeah, it's a long drive, obviously, because I'm heading out to Ohio, which is where my family is, and that's where I'm going to set up for a little bit. But who knows? I could, if I wanted to, I could make it there in a week or less. But I'm probably going to spend maybe a month doing it, just stopping at different places. And I love the drive. Like, honestly, it's a long drive, and it helps clear my mind, yeah, driving through these beautiful places, seeing nature and all that. I know I'm kind of just like, I haven't recorded myself speak in a long time, so I got to get used to it. I mean, I have recorded some tutorials for other things, but yeah. Anyway, so seeing nature, it's just amazing. Like, you don't know that this stuff is out here till you see it. Sure, you see pictures all the time, but when you're there in person, it's like a different world. And this is exactly what I needed. It's just a lot of time to think, to contemplate, and the lucky thing for me is there's just really nothing holding me back. There's no ties at all. So yeah. Anyway, so what's this all about? Where am I getting at? Like, where am I? What's my status? So I mean, this whole trip, like, I don't know what the outcome is, and I think that's the fun part, where I'm going on this journey of the unknown, and I'm curious to see where it ends up. And I have an idea of where I want to be, but things never turn out the way you expect. So part of it is like finding my voice, and myself, that kind of thing. And I think to do that, I really had to get out of LA, like, creatively, for my art and just for my projects and my goals. Because it was so weird. Like, I was really trapped in this weird bubble while I was there, and distracted by all the wrong things, especially regarding what to do with art. Like, because, like, the mentality there was very much like working towards getting good and working at, like, a company as an artist, an illustrator, a concept artist, that's totally fine. But I did that, and after doing that, I found it wasn't really for me. I just felt kind of suffocated at most of the places that I worked at. By the way, it's like late at night, which is why I sound really tired and I'm not very articulate, but it's only fair that I put up something. Anyway, so yeah, at most of the places I worked at, and a lot of the gigs I did, sure, I learned a lot, and I obviously got paid, so that was great. But I just, again, felt suffocated, and it's not really at the fault of the company, but more that I just didn't really like working on projects that my heart wasn't fully into. Like, if your heart isn't in something, you can't possibly do your best work. It's just you'll just wither. Anyway, so yeah, I could have stayed in Los Angeles to, like, continue teaching at Art Center or Brainstorm or all the other companies or whatever. Because I still have ties. I could go back, but then it's like, while I was there, I mean, if you watch my videos a couple videos back, I had the thought of leaving all that behind to discover what else could be out there, and to find out what I really want to do. And it's so there's so much clarity once I got out. Like things were just so obvious, like a no-brainer in a weird way. But it was definitely psychological. Like I had this kind of weird neurosis that prevented me from expressing my own creativity fully, and I think it might be just a selfish thing. Like for me, it's like if I make art, I want to do the things that I love and not your silly project. So, but it's like a fair thing to say because an artist's expression should be something authentic to the artist. So, in a way, I'm sort of negotiating on my own behalf of like, this is what I want to do. I don't know what it is yet entirely, but I definitely have a better idea now. And part of that required sacrificing the comfort of being in the hub of where art is really rewarded, especially with the skill set that we have out there. So yeah, while I was there, I mean, it was difficult to make art for myself, whether it was drawings or paintings or my projects, because it was like being trapped in this place where a lot of people were kind of gunning for the same thing, and I felt like every time I was drawing, there was this pressure, like these expectations of what I'm supposed to do to rise or to climb and or to get attention or likes or whatever. I mean, you've heard me talk about this before, but anyway, so I'm 2 weeks out. It's been 2 weeks since I was there, and I passed through Arizona, and I'm in Utah now, and I feel so free. I don't even know how to describe it. Like at every place I go to, I end up writing a lot and addressing my personal issues, whether it's like insecurities or past things that are preventing me from moving forward, and essentially sorting myself out. And the thing is, like, I'll write about that in a place, whether it's Phoenix, Arizona, or Flagstaff or whatever. But when I leave that place to the next destination, like all those things that I wrote about are no longer with me. It's like I left them behind, which is an amazing feeling because it's weird to even think those things were even a part of me. It's like, yeah, that's just in the past. Not even in the past. It's just a separate entity from my existence. So that's been a beautiful thing. I think traveling really makes it so much easier. Because I did that back in Pasadena when I went to coffee shops, but I would go right back to that damn apartment that I hated so much. I don't even want to talk about it because I want to leave it in the past. Anyway, so regarding art and creativity. By the way, what you're seeing on the screen is I set up my computer in the hotel I'm in right now, and I just without any prompt, without any whatever, and I just started drawing, and I. Like there was no pressure, and I just drew this and painted it up, and it felt so organic and natural. And so, I mean, I like it. For the first time, I don't hate the things that I'm doing, because I'm not functioning or operating under the pressure or the strange. I don't know. It's so weird, man. And I talked about this with Jason Brubaker recently not recently, a few podcasts back about this, and he too was also in LA and felt like he was trapped in this weird like zombie state where you're kind of like, I don't know, you're not fully awake when you're there. Anyway, so now I have a much clearer vision of what I see myself doing in the long run, as well as what I absolutely do not want to do ever again. So, and without being tied down in LA, I've been able to just think clearly and just be myself. In a way, like I said earlier, it's just a no-brainer where I don't really have to make a big deal out of it. Like, what am I going to draw? And it doesn't matter. And there's no pressure. Nobody's waiting with a checklist, saying you have to draw this, and that. Because before, when you go and do your own thing, and your brain is sort of like looking for that checklist, like, where is it? What am I supposed to do? There is none. And when I was there, I sort of thought they're still drawings. They're supposed to be for me. They're not, adhering to some kind of portfolio requirements. And I hated working like that. I mean, of course, if you're going to shoot for a specific company and they have portfolio requirements, it's great. Go for it. But when you're doing your own thing, new ones, let's say, demands of what a project should be. Anyway, yeah, I really wish I had scripted this out with like something, but I more or less just put my mic on, and I had this recording, the places that I'm at, a lot of videos, and not videos, just like, hey, this is where I am, look at my view, this is where I'm going, that kind of thing. So those are on the screen as well. What else was I going to say? Anyway, so back to the art thing. Right now my ideas are sort of floating around continuing with my own projects, meaning world building, that kind of thing, with like IP development. And yeah, so it's been really great. Like, I don't know what to say besides that. Like, man, I do not regret leaving. Yeah, so if you feel stuck somewhere and you really want to be creative, or you want to pursue your goals, whether it's drawing or fitness or whatever it might be, it might be the environment that you're in. Being shackled in a prison, obviously you can't do your best work. So anyway, I do have a lot more to share and to say, especially all the things that I've been thinking about, but I can't really come up with them right now on the spot because it's late. I just figured I'd share this video with all of you right now as a sort of update on the current status of things. So anyway, hope I didn't lose too many people during my break, but yeah, I'm still alive, and definitely follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you want to see what I'm up to. All right, I'm heading to Salt Lake City tomorrow in the morning, so yeah, see you there if you're there. All right, over and out.